Hey, Coach. Can you hear me?
You
Okay, good.
bet.
Okay, cool. So, I was kind of watching the podcast with Bird and KP today, and she said a lot of things. And one of the things she said is she always really wants to win, and she wants to be the reason why. And I know that's a big deal for her, and obviously a big deal for you too. But how do you mitigate feeling that way and putting undue pressure on yourself?
Um, I don't feel pressure about winning or losing. I feel
Okay.
pressure about achieving, which I know that sounds weird, but I want to achieve. And in our world, that's winning. But at the end of the day, I think you just have perspective. Like we get to coach basketball, we get to play basketball. If you read the news, there's a lot of things going out there in the world that are a lot harder than what and a lot more pressure than what I have to deal with or KP deals with. So I think having perspective, um, you have this relentless desire to achieve, and I know she has it. I know I have it, but having perspective on if basketball fell off the face of the earth, the world would spin the same tomorrow, and just understanding that there's things out of your control, there's things in your control. Just keep pushing. But pressure is not something that I really um, feel.
Perfect. Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Justin?
Hey, Coach. Good to see you.
Hey, Justin.
Hey, I want to talk to you about Azare for a second, if you don't mind. Um, she's sick. Obviously, she's 6'6", and she gives you a shooting threat and a finisher inside the rim as a roller that you just don't often see in this league.
Right.
What has that done for your offense schematically to have someone like that? And kind of how have you seen defenses try to adjust to having someone that size that you can run off pin downs, inverted pick and rolls, and everything else?
Yeah, she's been huge, and I think I have gotten more and more. Uh, well, I have gotten better at figuring out how to use her too. I think as her usage rate has continued to grow, I think as her, her numbers, all the things, I'm trying to figure out better ways to get her shots. But I just think for opposing defenses, it's really hard because she's going to be guarded by another big, and they're not used to guarding a shooter. But also somebody that can post up. She's got incredible hands. She can catch anything, and just she's playing at just such a high level. But for me, it's exciting because I feel like she still has room to do more. And I don't think I've completely gotten everything out of her potential. And so that's exciting. That's fun as a coach to know that you have like a toy that can just keep doing more and more things. But she's been just a joy to coach. She's so easy, low maintenance, plays hard, shows up the same way every single day. And so it's fun to see those type of guys get rewarded with the season that she's having.
Andrew?
Thanks, Joshua. As always good to see you, Coach LR. Uh,
What's up?
definitely. First one for me is the fact that when you played the Wings last time, completely different team than possibly tonight. Because Carrington traded, Page didn't play, but still now a dangerous team with their talent. You talk about what you've seen from this version of the Wings tonight, considering Rique's out, but Page there, and
Yeah.
that was so forth.
Yeah, I mean, this league. This is what I will tell you. What I've learned that it doesn't matter what the records say. Every team can beat anybody, every single one, and that part's different. Everybody is really good, and the players are so good. I think right now Dallas is playing a little more confidently. Maybe they play. They play hard. I think Paige does change them in terms of what she's able to do. And I know, they have her at the two guard a lot, just so she doesn't have to have that pressure of being the one all the time. But she's going to have the ball in her hands a lot. And she's always a threat at three levels. So I think they're better, obviously, than they were. They continue to get better. I think Chris has done a good job. They've had a lot of roster turnover. That's hard. But they definitely have my attention, our attention. I think our team's different too. I mean, we didn't have Cam, we didn't have Ray, we didn't have Julie Alamont. Like we were a different team too. So it's kind of new teams playing each other tonight.
And just real quick for me on Cam, the fact that you were able to take her out the other night with the ankle and how she's no one's on the injury report list. It seems like she's fine, and how she was able to deal with that and just look at the bigger picture of saying, let's just make sure we have everything right, to be.
Yeah, I think, yeah, and that's exactly what it was. She tweaked her ankle, and at this point, with all the things she's been through, it's not worth a regular season game that we felt like, we could win without her. We didn't, but it was one of those things, and I think you have to, even though it's hard in the moment, you've got to think long-term, big picture, not one game. You got to think, push for playoffs. We're going to need Cam mentally and physically healthy.
Thanks.
You bet.
Back to you, Justin. We'll finish with this question.
Oh, sorry, I have one more. Ray has seen her 3-point rate go up quite dramatically since the All-Star break. Is that by design in terms of like conversation you guys have had with her, or is it something she's just seeing and exploiting?
I think it's probably both. I know she works on it, but I also think she's having a better, everybody is. That's why our production has been on the rise offensively. Understanding when to shoot, when not to, understanding that, what a great shot is. And she has the green light to shoot those great shots. Ray brings life wherever she goes. And my thing with her has been, trying to temper sometimes, just don't try to do too much. Let the game come to you. Let the shots come to you. The offense will create them for you. And she's done a good job with that. She's also a really active cutter and doing other things, which is going to open things up for her on the perimeter. But super proud of her. She's gotten better since she's come back from injury. Her decision-making, her production, her impact on the game has really improved. And I think that's a big reason why we've been able to rattle off some wins.
Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thank you all. See you after.